Welcome to the APW Repair Center. Today we'll be demonstrating how to tune up a GC190 pressure washer with the CDX 2532 horizontally mounted pump. For this you will need non-detergent pump oil, motor oil for small engines, a new air filter, and a new spark plug. The tools that you'll need for this are a funnel, a receptacle for drained oil, a ratchet with extension, a 15/16 spark plug socket, a 17mm inline wrench, and lastly a 12mm inline wrench. Most horizontally mounted pumps are intended for long-term use and are designed to be maintained, so they will usually have an oil drain plug and a sight glass to facilitate the replacement of oil. Vertically mounted pumps usually are not designed for long-term use, and often maintenance isn't taken into consideration. So many vertically mounted pumps will not include a drain plug or a sight glass. The first step is to replace the air filter. Press in the tabs and unclip the cover of the air cleaner to gain access to the filter and remove it. Replace it with the new filter and make sure that it is fully seated into the air cleaner before replacing the cover. Next, we will remove the old spark plug and replace it with the new one. Start by removing the coil connection to the spark plug, then loosen the spark plug with the ratchet and the 15/16 spark plug socket. Remove the old spark plug and replace it with the new one while being very careful not to bump the electrode into anything which can change the gap and make your engine run roughly or not at all. Snug the spark plug up without over tightening it, then replace the coil connection. The final step is to drain the old oil and replace it with new oil. Most pressure washer frames are designed with a cutaway to allow the engine oil to be easily drained. Use the 12mm inline wrench to loosen the drain plug, then remove it the rest of the way with your fingers and try not to drop it into oil. Wait for all the oil to drain and then replace the plug. If your pressure washer frame didn't have an oil drain cutaway, then it will have to be drained from the oil dipstick port. You will need something to direct the flow of drained oil into your oil receptacle. I use a piece of PVC pipe I cut in half for this, but anything you have lying around will work. It could be as simple as a piece of bent cardboard. Tilt the pressure washer until the oil starts flowing into the receptacle and keep tilting it until it is fully drained. For future maintenance, we would recommend removing the oil drain plug and installing a drainset hose, which will make future oil changes significantly easier with less potential for oily messes. Now it is time to fill the pressure washer with new oil through the dipstick or oil fill port. Use a funnel to prevent any mess. Fill your engine with oil until it reaches the thread on your oil cap or registers on your dipstick. Replace the cap and you're done with the engine tune-up. If after doing these steps and your motor is still running roughly, there is a good chance that your fuel could have gone bad or has been contaminated. We would recommend using mechanic in a bottle swab test to determine if that is your problem. If the fuel is bad or has been contaminated by water, then you will have to drain it from your tank and your carburetor. If the fuel hasn't fully gone bad, then it can be saved by mixing mechanic in a bottle into your fuel tank and running your motor to circulate the treated fuel. Water contamination can be easily prevented with the application of ethanol shield to your fuel. Now on to the most important part, as well as the most neglected part of pressure washers, the pump. For this you will need something to direct the flow of oil into the receptacle just like the engine without the oil drain cutaway. I'd recommend placing something under the pump like an oil pad to absorb any potentially spilled oil. Loosen the drain plug with the 17mm inline wrench and remove it the rest of the way with your fingers while trying not to drop it in the oil. Replace the drain plug after the oil is done draining so we can fill it up with new oil. The vent tube on top will have to be removed so we can use that port to fill the pump with oil. Do not, and I repeat, do not use a funnel in this procedure because it will prevent the oil from moving past the wobble plate and the results are less than satisfactory. Slowly pour in the oil to allow it to flow into the lower chamber. If you pour too fast, it won't be able to keep up with the flow and the oil will spill all over. Allow the oil to settle and observe the sight glass. Keep pouring in oil and allowing it to settle for a few seconds until it reaches the halfway point on the sight glass. The last step is to replace the vent tube. And with that, you've just successfully transformed your underperforming pressure washer into a streamlined beast. Thanks for stopping by at the APW Repair Center. Join us for future repair videos, and as always, enjoy clean times.